What's up, what's up? It's your girl Nurse Channie here with a new Vlogmas video today. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, hey girl, hey. Thank you so much for coming back. So before we get into today's video, which I'm going to be sharing 3 tips for new travel nurses, I want you to make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell button so that whenever I post a video, you will be notified. All right, so let's get into some tips for travel nurses today. So my name is Chandra, aka Nurse Channie. I am a postpartum labor and delivery travel nurse. Right now, I am on a contract in San Francisco. Right now, I'm home. But I am an interim nurse leader in San Francisco, and I've been on that assignment since November of last year. I've extended it 4 times. So I've been a travel nurse for almost 3 years. I have completed, I don't know, I've lost count on how many assignments I've completed at this point, but I definitely feel like I'm well versed enough to offer you some nurse notes when it comes to travel nursing. So today I'm going to offer 3 tips that I feel like all travel nurses need. So starting off as a travel nurse, it can be very intimidating because you're like the new kid on the block every single time you start a new assignment. Like, people ask me all the time, how do you do it? Like, people are like, I could never go to a new job every 3 months. I'm at a point in my career where I don't necessarily need to be attached to a specific job right now. I'm at a point in my career where I want to be paid my worth, and travel nursing has offered me tons of flexibility, and it's allowed me to increase my earning potential significantly. So it works for me. It's not for everybody, which is the disclaimer that I always give. If you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, you should follow me on Instagram here at the Know It All Nurse. I'm going to share some tips that I think are helpful. So let's get into it. So the first tip is, as a travel nurse, you have to be flexible. I cannot stress this enough. You have to be flexible and you have to be adaptable because things rapidly change in the travel nurse world. And so if you are the type of nurse who does not do well with change, travel nursing may not be for you. As a travel nurse, you got to be ready to orient quickly. You have to be ready for changes in the environment. You got to be ready to deal with the staff and the administration at the hospital. So flexibility is a skill that you have to have as a travel nurse. You got to be able to adapt to the environment. Y'all know how we are as nurses. We want things the way we want them. And that's just being real, okay? But as a travel nurse, you may not have those same luxuries that you had at your staff position. You're coming in as the new person. You're coming in as an outsider. Go with the flow. Remember, as travel nurses, you're not there to change the culture of that particular hospital. It's also important for travel nurses to know how to negotiate for what you want in your contract. Now, negotiation is a skill that I'm not going to teach on this video, but what I will say about negotiation is ask for what you want. Listen, we are travel nurses for a reason. Like, I want all the bells and whistles that I can get, all the perks, everything that is available to me, I want it. So negotiate for the things that you want, as you're like a free agent. So for example, if you are talking with your recruiter about starting a new assignment and you know that you want the week of Christmas off, negotiate that. Let them know, I am willing to work whatever the length of the contract is. However, I need off for this particular week. Like, if you know that that's a deal breaker for you, try to negotiate it. And if it truly is a deal breaker and they're not going to give it to you, then move on to the next opportunity. So learn how to negotiate for the things that you want, including your paycheck, including things that you would like to see included in your contract, whether that be a rental car, housing money, meal stipends, whatever those things are. Learn how to negotiate that before you sign that contract, because once you sign the contract and then you try to go back and add things in, it's a little more difficult to get those things approved. Always make sure that you negotiate everything that you want to see in your contract prior to starting or prior to signing that contract. Speaking of contracts, make sure that you read your contract before you sign it. Make sure that everything that you and your recruiter have discussed is in alignment with what's written in the contract. It is a legal document, it is binding, it is a written agreement between you and that agency. So make sure that you understand your pay breakdown, make sure that you understand your tax-free stipends, make sure that your time off is in there if you have asked for that. Make sure that things like overtime rates are spelled out so that you can see it in your contract. Make sure that you read that contract. A lot of people will just look at, oh, I'm going to be making $8,000 a week. And then you're like, yes, let me sign away. No, make sure that you understand how that $8,000 is going to be paid out. Make sure that you understand the whole breakdown of that so that there's no question about anything. If you are offered bonuses for everything, make sure that those things are written in the contract. Always read your contract before you sign it. Like, I'm combing through the whole thing before I sign it because I want to know what I'm getting into when I am starting out on a new assignment. So I hope those tips were helpful for you. Please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell button, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.